Right now this morning, the campaign trail once again coming to La Crosse today as Vice President Kamala Harris returns to the Coulee region. And see how 4 Rotary clubs are turning a popular sport into a powerful tool against a persistent health threat. We'll tell you about pickleball for polio.
Plus, we have an elevated fire danger risk for today. And as I come back, I'll give you an overview of how this all plays out for you in just a moment.
Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us for News 8 Now this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Thursday, October 17th. All right, Art, I saw the moon last night. It was incredible. It was so huge. It didn't even look real. I'm like, how can that be real?
It's made out of cheese, you know.
It did look like it. You could see the craters. You could see everything. It was amazing.
Oh, my goodness.
So glad I finally got to see it.
Well, it's still out there right now. You guys can take a peek at it after the newscast. But as we get into it here, take a look at what I've got going on for you. We're going to hold on to the elevated fire risks, as I mentioned before, and that continues on. As you get into it here, take a gander. We've got the red flag warning that's going to west of the Mississippi, back over to our area here. We're looking, excuse me, at least a fire weather watch that is in play. This is like being on deck in a baseball game, so you're next on off to bat. If this happens to us with this critical fire danger coming in with the winds getting up to at least 30 miles per hour here locally for us, we could possibly see that. Drought conditions and, of course, warmer conditions are on the way. So you can see the wind that's popping into the picture here. Hello there. And as we get into it here, you're looking at what we really need to do, unfortunately, is to have an extended dry period. We have that. We're in the drought situation right now. Fuels that are dead, you can see that with the brush and prairie and grass fire, trees getting into it, all excellent for fuel. And of course, the warm and windy conditions, which we also have right now, which I'll show you. Getting into right now, all this yellow, this is a abnormally dry conditions moving into the picture. You've got at least the severe drought getting into the darker tan, all the way down to the southwest there, portions of that. And eventually, you're going to be seeing this as we get into it. Windy and dry conditions today, and as we get into tomorrow, you're looking at least this all happening again, and this will carry over the weekend. I'll have more coming up for you in just a moment.
Vice President and Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris set to hold a rally in La Crosse today. This marks Harris's 6th visit to the Badger State since launching her presidential bid. The Harris-Walz campaign has not yet released too many specific details, including the time or location, but we will have a crew there and we'll keep you updated throughout the day. And Vice President Harris and former President Trump continuing their media blitz yesterday as they tried to win over undecided voters. Yesterday, Harris targeted Republicans and independents, while Trump targeted women and Latino voters. CBS's Jared Hill has more for us from New York.
Vice President Kamala Harris spent Wednesday reaching across the political divide at a rally in suburban Pennsylvania.
There is a place for you in this campaign.
Ahead of a rare sit-down with Fox News.
We have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your Homeland Security Secretary said that 85% of apprehension.
In the sometimes contentious interview, Harris slammed former President Donald Trump's rhetoric.
You and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people.
I think she's harmed our country horribly.
At a Univision town hall, Trump took questions from undecided Latino voters on issues like his proposal for mass deportations.
We want workers, and we want them to come in, but they have to come in legally. They have to love our country.
He doubled down on spreading misinformation about Haitian migrants living in Ohio.
I was just saying what was reported.
Trump also made this claim at a town hall on Fox with women voters.
I'm the father of IVF.
Which Harris later called bizarre.
The reality is his actions have been very harmful to women and families in America on this issue.
Today, both are back on the campaign trail with just 19 days until Election Day.
And tonight, former President Trump set to appear at the annual Al Smith Charity Dinner in New York. That has been a tradition for presidential candidates. Harris, though, skipping that to spend some time campaigning in Wisconsin. Candidates for the 32nd State Senate District debated at UW La Crosse yesterday. Taxation dominating the discussion between incumbent Democrat Brad Pfaff and Republican challenger Stacey Klein. Focusing on Wisconsin's $4.6 billion surplus, Klein criticized Pfaff for opposing tax breaks, including proposals to eliminate an income tax bracket and exempt retirement income up to $150,000. Pfaff countered, arguing Republican policies favor a flat tax system, which he says would harm the state.
Senator Paff talks about targeted tax relief. There were 4 separate tax relief bills that came through the legislature in the last session. He voted against 3 of them.
I frankly do not believe that it's fair that a teacher who makes $50,000 a year should pay the same tax rate as a multimillionaire that lives in Madison or Milwaukee.
The one item the two agreed on is an increase to the child tax credit. Minnesota's First Lady Gwen Walz held a virtual call highlighting the Harris-Walz campaign vision. She outlined the campaign's rural plan, which includes health care support through scholarships and federal loan repayment programs for rural health care workers. She also emphasized the campaign's commitment to reproductive freedoms, drawing on her family's personal experience with fertility treatments to advocate for nationwide IVF access.
In our journey, we had access to fertility treatments, and that made it possible for Tim and I to have a family. And without that access, that would not have been possible. And I cannot imagine that we, as a country, are contemplating when, if, or how people can start families.
Senate Republicans blocked a bill to provide a nationwide right to IVF treatments, dismissing it as a show bill. Former President Donald Trump and some other GOP leaders have expressed their support for access to IVF. Voters in several states will see abortion measures on the ballot next month. The battle over reproductive rights moved to the states after the Supreme Court overturned federal protection for abortion access in 2022. Christian Benavidez caught up with one group knocking on doors to reach voters about the right to abortion.
The 3 knocks, step back.
Organizers with the grassroots group Mi Vecino go over the game plan before they hit the road, pounding the pavement to talk to Florida voters about Amendment 4, which would repeal the state's 6-week abortion ban.
If the election were today and you were in the ballot box, would you vote in favor, opposition? Would you need more information?
Amendment 4 needs 60% approval to pass. To see the right to abortion initiative over the finish line, Mi Vecino has knocked on more than 185,000 doors in Central and South Florida and made 750,000 phone calls.
We're talking to anybody and everybody. And right now we have a specific focus on youth voters because that's where we're seeing the highest levels of support for Amendment 4.
Organizers say they're also tailoring their message for different groups of voters.
We talk to men, we talk a lot more about government interference. We don't elect politicians to make medical decisions for us.
In addition to Florida, 9 other states have abortion measures on the ballot this November, including the presidential battlegrounds of Arizona and Nevada. Abortion rights have won every time they've been on the ballot since Roe was overturned.
Vote no.
Vote no on 4 wants a different outcome in Florida. Miami radiologist Dr. Grazie Pozo Christie is a founding member of Florida Physicians Against Amendment 4 and calls the proposal dangerous.
It's written in such a way that it allows elective abortions through viability, and after viability for reasons of maternal health. Maternal health is not defined, which means it could include her economic health, her social health, her psychological health, basically any reason.
Tal como la enmienda 4.
Both sides are inundating Floridians with English and Spanish language ads, with just 2.5 weeks left for voters to make up their minds.
A group campaigning for Florida's abortion right measure sued state officials yesterday over order to television states to stop airing one ad. The group behind the ad says its content is accurate and has protected political speech. The state health department claims it is false and dangerous. British pop star Liam Payne, known for his time with the massive group One Direction, was found dead outside of a hotel in Argentina yesterday. The 31-year-old died after falling from his hotel room on the 3rd floor. Buenos Aires authorities told the Associated Press Payne had jumped from the balcony of his room just after 5 p.m. local time. Liam Payne is survived by a 7-year-old son he shared with fellow musician Cheryl Cole. His death is still being investigated. Opening statements set to start today in the trial of Winona man Adam Fravel. 30-year-old Fravel is facing first-degree murder charges in the death of Madeline Kingsbury, the mother of his 2 children. Kingsbury disappeared from their Winona home in March of last year. Her body was found 2 months later. Due to extensive media attention, the trial was moved from Winona County to the Blue Earth County Justice Center in Mankato. Proceedings are set to start at 9 o'clock this morning. A man has been sentenced in the 2022 death of an Altoona resident. 36-year-old Xavier Thompson will serve 22 months in prison, followed by 5 years of extended supervision. Thompson was charged with second-degree recklessly endangering safety in connection with Christopher Connor's death. Connor was found shot at an Eau Claire intersection in 2022. He later died. A second suspect, Michael Purnell, faces felony murder charges. He'll be sentenced in December. In the wake of Hurricanes Milton and Helene, local law enforcement is stepping up to help. The La Crosse County Sheriff's Office is hosting a hurricane relief donation drive at the Onalaska Omni Center from November 1st to the 3rd. There, they'll collect essential items like first aid supplies, batteries, and flashlights. The time now is 6:10. Still ahead on your morning news, Bed Bath & Beyond returning, but in a new store. We'll explain. Lyft is offering an Election Day discount, and Apple unveiling its latest iPad.
The cost of car ownership continues to climb. I'm Danya Backus with the results of a new study.
And for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Osh, an African elephant at the Oakland Zoo, enjoyed a fun and extravagant farewell party on Tuesday. During the party, he was surrounded by his favorite snacks and tributes, including that banner you saw there that read "Goodbye, Osh." Yeah, it looks like he's going to snack on that. The zoo cited socialization as one of the reasons for the move, stating Osh will have the opportunity to socialize and develop relationships with many other elephants over his lifetime, something that he could not do at his current zoo. And as you start to wake up this morning, leaving with a quick wake-up call, the city that held the first Super Bowl. You know what it is? Dallas, Texas, home of Jerry World, of course. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is coming up.
Look, here's a phone company who wants us to use our phones less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us. It's a free ride. But I already paid.
If you want selection, then that's what we've got at King Furniture. More mattresses. Did you know you spend a third of your life sleeping? So you better have the best mattress you possibly can. And we have those here at King Furniture with a huge selection to choose from in every price range. Lay down and relax. Take the time to find the exact mattress you want because you're going to be sleeping on this for a while. King Furniture. Nice people, nice furniture. Racist and offensive. Ryan Hipsch's social media history tells us who he really is. In one post, Hipsch said that he wanted a hat with the N-word embroidered on it. In another, Hipsch aims a rifle and comments that he can't wait to kill Muslims using a slur. Then wrote, LOL, that was racist. And that's just the beginning. Hipsch's social media posts are full of degrading terms for women and people with disabilities. Tell Ryan Hipsch that his agenda is too extreme for the Cooley region.
I worked as a truck driver for 36 years. And then one day I got this letter.
Your retirement will be cut.
Will be cut in half.
You don't forget something like that.
Every paycheck we put money away. But because of Wall Street greed, boom, it was gone.
But Tammy Baldwin saw what they were doing and wrote a bill to save our retirement.
Then she fought like hell to pass it.
What Tammy Baldwin did for our families, you don't forget something like that.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
National Democrats have been a disaster. Higher prices, open borders, making our communities less safe. They can't run on their record, so they try to distract you by lying about abortion.
Here's the truth. I oppose a national abortion ban. Early in a pregnancy, women should have the right to decide. We should allow for exceptions. And finally, the people of Wisconsin need to decide this issue, not politicians in Washington.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
He thinks he's better than us. Derek Van Orden said, I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman. So it's no surprise Derek Van Orden would cut Social Security and Medicare and give more tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. We earned those benefits with every paycheck, but Derek Van Orden thinks he's better than us. Don't let Derek Van Orden cut Social Security and Medicare. Your community PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Sometimes a celebration means fireworks and loud music. I'll just tell you that I'm celebrating 35 years at the board store, 80 years on the planet, and my daughter Danielle becoming the new general manager of the board store. Let what's personal to me be personal to you with savings on your next home improvement.
Call for a prompt free estimate on windows and doors, on siding or gutters, on a bathroom or a kitchen, on a sunroom or deck.
Better products.
Better people.
Better prices.
The Board Store, improving your home, improving your life.
I've been with U.S. Cellular for 27 years. When they asked me to talk to you about their special customer event, Us Days, I said, I gotta get in shape. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers.
Us Days is back at U.S. Cellular.
Well, good morning to you. There's that version of the moon that Alexander was talking about. I wish I could get a little bit closer for you, but absolutely gorgeous. We may have a little bit of wind coming in slowly but surely as we go through the morning hours, and then by the late morning, it'll start to pick up. We'll get into elevated fire risk as well. Very dry conditions. In fact, these winds will be sustained about 15 to 25 miles per hour. We'll get gusts up to 30 miles per hour, plus in some cases locally. You get into areas by Minnesota and portions of northern Iowa, you're going to see winds get up to about 45 miles per hour gusting, and of course up to at least getting up to 30 miles per hour with sustained winds, so please be careful of that. For us here locally, we are in a fire weather watch. That's why we're in a different color. Here you can see that continues on for today. We're also seeing this all linger around from 11 o'clock getting into at least 7 p.m. this afternoon. Then we do it all again for tomorrow. Basically here, temperatures holding on to the 30s, some 20s in there still. Black River Falls as well as Sparta, like they were very cold yesterday, and the coldest in the nation actually. They're still probably pushing that same type of record today. Again, we're holding on to temperatures right now in Eau Claire, at least 38 degrees for the 8 o'clock hour as we roll right into the 10 o'clock hour for the late morning hours and getting into the afternoon. You're looking at temperatures getting up to the middle 60s, and eventually as the La Crosse will do the same, whole lot of sunshine with windy conditions on the way. When I come back, I'll have a better overview of how this will all play out for you, so please stick around.
In your consumer news this morning, Bed Bath & Beyond is making a comeback, but this time it's taking up a space at Arrival. Beyond Inc., which bought the defunct retailer out of bankruptcy, now investing $40 million in the Container Store. As part of that investment, Bed Bath & Beyond branded kitchen, bath, and bedroom products will soon be sold at 102 Container Stores. The deal is a much-needed lifeline for the Container Store as it struggles with slumping sales. The company hasn't posted a profit in 3 years. Lyft is offering 50% off rides to the polling station on Election Day as part of its voting access program. According to a report released by the Rideshare Act, a 1-mile increase in distance to a polling site can reduce voter turnout by 20%. The longest drives to a polling site average 5.8 miles in Texas. Lyft users can take advantage of the discount by preloading the code VOTE24 into your app until November 5th. And Apple unveiling this new iPad mini built for Apple Intelligence. The mini features the same chip as the iPhone 15 Pro, supporting upcoming AI features. With double the memory of its predecessor, it also adds support for Apple Pencil Pro. Available in blue, purple, starlight, and space gray, the new mini hits stores next Wednesday. Prices start at $499. Buying a car is, of course, a major purchase. Before beginning the car buying journey, it's important to understand how much it'll cost beyond just the sticker price. CBS's Danya Backus shows us which cars will save you money.
Kevin Ng uses his two vehicles for different reasons. The Toyota Tundra pickup truck for camping and the Toyota Prius to commute to work. Besides the size, he says there's a major difference between the two.
It's definitely cheaper to own the Prius. Setting aside just gas mileage, it's still cheaper to own the Prius by far.
A new study from AAA finds the average cost to own and operate a new vehicle is now almost $12,300 annually, an increase of $115 from 2023.
And the reason we're seeing this is due to finances. So there are very high interest rates for buying a car and also depreciation of vehicles.
Gianella Giglino is with AAA. She says the popularity of oversized vehicles loaded with high-tech features has led to an increase in new car prices and payments. EVs have the second highest ownership cost due to depreciation, purchase prices, and finance charges. Gas pickup trucks are number one. The most affordable vehicles to own and operate are small sedans and hybrids. They have good gas mileage, low maintenance cost, and rank in the middle for depreciation, financing, and insurance.
The Prius is largely maintenance-free. The front brakes got changed once at 70,000 miles only because I got in a minor accident.
And hybrids are growing in popularity. 1 in 3 Americans told AAA it's likely or very likely they will buy a hybrid in the future.
Other car buying tips from AAA: create a monthly or annual budget and factor in ownership and operating costs. Also, obtain pre-approval from a financial institution before you discuss finance rates with a car dealer. That's it for your morning consumer news. Time now is 6:19. Let's check back in with Art for a look at our forecast.
All right, Alexander, with all that warmth we've been slowly but surely trying to get back to and the winds picking up, we're back into a fire elevated state, and that's going to be one of those days where you see a red flag warning, all that red there getting into areas by Minnesota as well as portions of Iowa. And then on the other side of the Mississippi here to the east, we're holding on to a fire weather watch. So we're on deck for that to happen here. These winds are going to be very breezy and gusty. Temperatures are going to continue to gradually warm over the next few days. And so this fire weather warning is probably going to stick with us possibly going into the weekend. We're also be seeing here the possibility going of clear skies to sunny skies for the day. We're going to hold on to temperatures in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s will pop into the picture. As far as visibility is concerned for this early morning, not much going on. We're holding on to at least some drier or at least some mild conditions as far as fog is concerned, with at least up to 10 miles of visibility. Now, you don't see a lot going into the picture here, but yesterday it was kind of similar, and we picked up some decent fog yesterday. But here's the deal, though. We pick up the winds, though, as we go deeper into the morning hours, and the winds are going to kind of scurry a lot of this fog out of the way. So we're holding on to potentially getting into some other things. Can you guys do me a favor and kind of lose my name so you can see the graphics a little bit better? You're going to be picking up again the possibility of windy and dry conditions for today. You'll also see breezy and warmer conditions for tomorrow. Temperatures are warming up. We'll continue to warm you up going into the weekend too as well. Possibly seeing those middle 70s getting back into the picture, as well as maybe an upper 70. In fact, we'll get into the drier conditions as the Great Basin is pumping up a lot more heat working our way. It's also pumping up heat from Dallas getting all the way out to Jacksonville, Florida here. And this is getting closer to us as well. Gradually this will continue to pick up. So we'll be in the mild to start today, and then eventually as we go deeper into Friday, we're looking at warmer conditions pop into the picture, and that's on the heels of some cooler air coming on the way. In fact, you're also going to be picking up the warm sticking around all the way into Sunday, possibly Monday as well, and then eventually by Tuesday it all begins to slowly but surely break down and put us back in the mild. Here are the winds popping into the picture here. We'll lift this up for you. You can see these winds are going to get up to 23 miles per hour, 26 miles per hour, 37 miles per hour, 27 to 29 miles per hour, and that will kick up, possibly getting into near 20 mile per hour heat, or winds moving into the picture here. And the winds are also going to be holding on to warmer air in the picture as that happens. Well, we'll also see as we go through it, we've been dry lately, and it doesn't look like we're going to get much in the way of rainfall here locally for some time. We go right into Saturday and Sunday. That rainfall we are expecting has a 20% chance it's kind of cutting out of the way. We'll also see as we get into at least by Monday or Tuesday, not much happening, but by Wednesday, we may have a little blip of rainfall sneaking into the picture. That being said, we go into it here, you're looking at the conditions to be like this with more of the 40s and the 50s, kind of popping up a little bit of heat eventually as we go through the morning hours, and then eventually you'll see 68 today, 73 today going into Friday and the weekend, middle 70s, upper 70s, and then more 70s for Monday going into Tuesday, and then we cool you on down back into the mild.
Looks good, Art. Thank you. The time now is 6:22. Still ahead, can energy healing help breast cancer patients? One cancer center studies Reiki's impact on recovery. Find out how the alternative therapy could change treatment after the Sports Blitz.
Coming up in the Blitz, the last game of the regular season in Minnesota high school football before the postseason begins. Highlights coming at you momentarily.
My name is Bill. I am retired. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I live here in Wisconsin. I am not a political person, but Eric Hovde doesn't understand how important Social Security and Medicare are around here. I'm on Social Security, and Hovde said he absolutely supported cuts to Social Security and Medicare. Imagine working longer, paying into the system, and then poof, you're paying your bills with less. He knows it. Cutting Social Security and Medicare will cost us. He just doesn't care.
WinSenate is responsible for the content of this message.
Today at Wesco in Sparta, it's interest-free. Free! 24 months interest-free, 36 months interest-free, even 48 months interest-free on everything from beautiful furniture for every room and premium mattresses to flooring and brand-name appliances. Choose the home furnishings you want. Then Wesco lets you buy interest-free to suit your needs. 24 months interest-free, 36 months interest-free, or even 48 months interest-free. It's an interest-free for all today at Wesco in Sparta.
We need real working people in Washington.
What a phony. Cook spent the last decade working as a political operative. Earned her money helping defund the police radicals like Mandela Barnes, the most anti-police candidate in Wisconsin history. Now, Cook won't let you protect your family. She wants to ban the most popular rifle in the country, earning an F from the NRA. Rebecca Cook, phony insider, dangerously liberal.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
Liberal Rebecca Cook. She's cooked up quite a story about herself. The truth? Cook is a slick political operative who pocketed almost $200,000 electing Democrat extremists. Cook supported radicals pushing open borders, defunding police, and ending cash bail. No wonder New York radical AOC is spending big money to elect phonies like Cook. Rebecca Cook. A liberal recipe for disaster. Strategic Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, it is the final week of high school football in Minnesota, so that means Wednesday night football. Sounds a bit odd, but who doesn't like more action on the gridiron? We'll begin with Caledonia clashing with Pine City. And let's start things off with this man right here, Ethan Stendel. He had 2 rushing touchdowns in the first quarter and looking for more action on offense as Caledonia is up 14-0. Pump fakes and takes off for the first down. Then Stendel showing it off on the other side of the ball, slicing through the line and getting to the running back for the loss. Next Warrior possession, Stendel winding up and firing it to Mason King for a big gain as they try to add on more points. Warriors would end up punting, but that does not matter as the defense would blow up the run play to shut out Pine City in the first half, and that shutout would continue as Caledonia wins in a rout, 40-0. Over to Spring Grove as they're taking on Mabel Canton. For Spring Grove Drive, it's Bryce Burns calling his own number and weaving his way through. The defense gives a hand to the face of the Cougar defender. Can't bring him down. He flies to the end zone for 6. Ensuing Cougar Drive, Isaac Underbach slings one to Darian Hirschberger, who takes it to the crib. Mabel Canton would convert the 2-point conversion to go up 8-6. Next Lion Drive, it's Burns again faking the handoff. He gets some blocks up ahead and turns it on, put his squad back on top. And the home side would take control from there as they go on to win this one by a final of 40-16. Winona taking on Rochester Century under the Wednesday night lights. In the first quarter, Dion Prolo with the quarterback keeper. Looks like he gets stuffed, but he gets away and runs it in for a touchdown to start the scoring. And right before the end of the quarter, it's Prolo again with the rush as he barrels through to extend the Windhawk lead. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 2-point conversion is good. That makes it 15-0. And a couple minutes into the second quarter, Zachary Epps with a huge punt return, setting his team up in good field position. Not long after, Jaden Blank wants in on the fun. He breaks off a big run to add to the host score. Winona goes into the playoffs with a dub, 32-13 the final. And in Houston, the Hurricanes hosting Kingsland. Picked this one up, home side down 7-6. Maddox Rodriguez gets the carry, finds some space, bursting down the sidelines for a big gain, but the drive would come to a halt. Ball thrown up to Rodriguez, but Caden Ryder skies for it, picks it off to set up the Knights. And they would cash in on the turnover. Kaleem Ryland takes the snap, surveys the field, and delivers a dime that hits Zach Ryland right in the numbers. He coasts into the end zone to make it 13-6 Kingsland, but Houston hits back. Morgan Roeter goes deep and puts it on Axel Vix, and he is in for the score. In the end, though, Kingsland takes it 38-28. Final week of prep football in Wisconsin is tomorrow. Southern Blitz, we'll see you tonight.
From cozy breakfast nooks to formal dining areas, Ashley has versatile dining options that fit any space and style, starting at just $499.99. And receive a $250 mattress credit with the purchase of any 6-piece bedroom set. Only at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
My name is Bill. I am retired. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I live here in Wisconsin. I am not a political person, but Eric Hovde doesn't understand how important Social Security and Medicare are around here. I'm on Social Security, and Hovde said he absolutely supported cuts to Social Security and Medicare. Imagine working longer, paying into the system, and then poof, you're paying your bills with less. He knows it. Cutting Social Security and Medicare will cost us. He just doesn't care.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this message.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland, as in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor. Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese. But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
That really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Over the last few years, we've redefined what working remotely means, and so is the Ford F-150. Bring your desk wherever you go with a flat interior work surface. Drop down the tailgate to get it all done, and plug in what you need outside the cab with available Pro Power on board. How's that for upping your productivity? Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Get 2.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $9,900 in total savings on a new Ford F-150 XLT. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
What is Tammy Baldwin hiding? Her partner is a high-end Wall Street advisor for the ultra-wealthy, but Baldwin refuses to disclose their assets. Maybe it's because Tammy sits on a Senate committee which authorizes funding that goes to industries where her partner invests and makes big profits. The press says Baldwin is obviously hiding something. Two-faced Tammy Baldwin. After 25 years, she's not for us anymore. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Board Store 35th anniversary, you could win. Third prize, $1,944 savings certificate. I was born in October 1944. Second prize, $1,989 savings certificate. I started the Board Store October 1989. First prize, $2,024 savings certificate. I'm celebrating 35 years at the Board Store. Call or visit our showroom soon. Better products.
Better people.
Better prices.
The Board Store, improving your home, improving your life.
Does your child have sleep disorders, ADHD, ADD, speech issues, or mouth breathing? These are a few symptoms of a myofunctional disorder. If left untreated, it can cause disrupted sleep, TMJ pain, snoring, and other health problems. At Allen Dental, our myofunctional therapist will develop a plan to retrain the face, mouth, and throat muscles, leading to better sleep, mouth alignment, and nasal breathing, which has so many benefits for overall health. Contact Allen Dental today to schedule your appointment.
Looking for a better night's sleep? Ashley Sleep offers 3 different mattress lines for everybody, from soft, cloud-like comfort to firm next-level support. Or wake up on the bright side of the bed with a Nectar mattress starting at $7.99. Now available at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
In your morning medical news, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We know treatments like chemotherapy and radiation are critical for patients fighting the disease. Now new research is looking at how one mind-body therapy could also help. Jared Hill has more.
And then just take some nice deep breaths.
Annette Marsach is trying an alternative therapy that could help in her healing from breast cancer. She was diagnosed last year and had a mastectomy and other surgeries.
It was kind of scary, because you didn't know how far it was, what's going to happen.
She's having a Reiki session at Montefiore Einstein Comprehensive Cancer Center, part of new research studying whether the form of energy healing can impact the well-being and recovery of women before and after surgery for breast cancer.
In terms of mind-body things, whether it's, massage or Reiki or acupuncture or meditation or yoga, we know that all these things can be very, very helpful to the immune system to be strong so that as patients are going through treatments, they really can do better.
Dr. Sheldon Feldman is leading the study, and Annette is among more than 30 breast cancer patients being enrolled. Patients receive either medical Reiki or sham or simulated Reiki. Annette was in the sham group and is now receiving an authentic session, which is why we're not revealing the Reiki master's identity to not compromise the ongoing study.
I felt, in certain places some warmth and the energy kind of moving and warming up. And oftentimes that happens during a session as the energy is moving and clearing and rebalancing.
Relax.
At the end of the session, Annette describes how she's feeling.
Yeah.
Like you took something away.
Yeah, lifted something.
She says she's feeling calm and at peace as she prepares for another surgery in December.
Researchers expect the study to be complete in another year or so. Local elementary students got a dose of medical inspiration yesterday. Gunderson Health System brought Science Day to La Crescent Hoka Elementary School. Students there interacted with a range of medical professionals, including doctors, medical students, and nurses. The event introduced kids to things like human anatomy and first aid, potentially sparking future careers in medicine.
We all love our Science of Medicine Day. We have so much fun with the children. I think the most exciting part for me is that we might be able to inspire some of these kids to consider fields in medicine.
Students also learned about human anatomy, x-rays, and splinting. La Crosse's Rotary Lights marking its 30th year with a dazzling display of community spirit. This milestone season features special events, including Santa Visit and an Ugly Sweater 5K. New this year, an inclusive night with lowered lights and music for people with autism. More than 3,000 volunteers and 110 nonprofits power this holiday tradition.
Not only do they like the idea of a great holiday lighting display, but I think a lot of people believe in the cause of to feed the hungry as well, especially that time of year.
Each year, they collect food donations for pantries and food banks. Over the last 30 years, they've received more than 5 million donations. The time now is 6:36. Let's check back in with News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett to tell us what to expect on our morning commute.
Well, I tell you, the winds are going to start to pick up once we get closer to the 10 o'clock hour. So finishing up the mid-morning hours, you're going to start to feel those winds begin to pick up. Right now over in Minnesota and Iowa, they're already starting to stir up there. They have a fire risk there that is at a red flag warning state. That starts at 11 o'clock today. Hey, take a look at this. As we get into it here, we've got the fire danger. That's going to be possible. That's going to be elevated today as well. So that means that's going to be critical for us. We are in locally here. We are in a fire weather watch, but right now the danger, real danger, is over there on the other side of the Mississippi where they're looking at a red flag warning, and that is in play. Most of this goes from 11 o'clock this morning all the way to 7 p.m. this evening, and we'll do it again tomorrow for you. Windy and gusty conditions will ensue today as well. You'll be seeing these winds right now. They're still holding up about 15 miles per hour to 13 miles per hour to 9 miles per hour on the other side of the Mississippi, but we'll gradually pick them up. We're going to see these winds get up to 20 miles per hour plus, and they'll continue up to 29 to near 30 miles per hour plus, and then continuing on as we finish off going into the following part of the day. And that's how it all plays out, not only for today, but for tomorrow as well. Of course, the fire season's also in here, and that's going to be our forecast for you.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
Hey, Blake is turning 8 years old today. He loves going hunting and fishing with his dad, playing video games, and giving his brother a hard time.
And the owner of the board store and good friend of News 8, Miles Wilkins, turned 80 yesterday. He loves to provide for those in the community and was a Vietnam veteran. Thank you for your service.
That's right. If you have a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18 or 80 years old, 88 years old as well soon today, we'd love to feature them.
Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button. Coming up, how local Rotary clubs are using pickleball to serve up support for polio eradication.
My name is Bill. I am retired. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I live here in Wisconsin. I am not a political person, but Eric Hovde doesn't understand how important Social Security and Medicare are around here. I'm on Social Security, and Hovde said he absolutely supported cuts to Social Security and Medicare. Imagine working longer, paying into the system, and then poof, you're paying your bills with less. He knows it. Cutting Social Security and Medicare will cost us. He just doesn't care.
WinSenate is responsible for the content of this message.
This is a hallway. doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
As a working mom, I'm feeling the pain of inflation. Everything costs more these days because of Biden and Kamala's wasteful spending. And while we pay more, they're giving away our hard-earned money to illegal immigrants. Tammy Baldwin is just as bad. Baldwin voted to give amnesty and taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. She even gave them government stimulus checks and free health care. We can't afford Tammy Baldwin and her handouts to illegal immigrants.
I'm Eric Kovdy, and I approve this message.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor. And the potential to take you anywhere.
Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado. Visit HometownChevy.com.
He thinks he's better than us. Derek Van Orden said, "I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman." So it's no surprise Derek Van Orden would cut Social Security and Medicare and give more tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. We earned those benefits with every paycheck, but Derek Van Orden thinks he's better than us. Don't let Derek Van Orden cut Social Security and Medicare. Your community PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we've helped hunters gear up for the season for over 6 decades. So as you prep for this year's hunt, shop unbeatable deals on supplies to make your trip successful. Like 10 packs of Grabber hand warmers, just $5.99. Hit the road and save $1.50 a gallon on splash antifreeze. For working dogs, large bags of Victor dog food are $5 off. And keep cabins warm with Easy Heat fuel pellets, just $4.99. Gear up for the hunt and save at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
All right, windy and breezy today. You're going to see that throughout areas across all the way from Minneapolis, getting down to La Crosse as well as portions of Iowa and getting across all the way into Madison. This is going to continue on today. That being said, what you need to know, yeah, it's going to be windy today, tomorrow with the heat warming up as well. We'll warming up even more so tomorrow, getting into the warm conditions, and then eventually those warm conditions will even heat up even more so, well above seasonal averages. In fact, this is what you get out of this as well. You throw in the winds here, the dry conditions, and you get a red flag warning that's in play. This kicks in from 11 o'clock to 7 p.m. in the red for us here locally. As you get into the tan, you're looking more so as a fire weather watch. So that's like being just on deck for any type of weather to really pick up in our direction here today. Clear skies, getting into some temperatures in the 40s, the 50s going to the 60s eventually as we go into the afternoon hours. Dry conditions will ensue, and it's like, are we ever going to see some rainfall again? And in fact, what we get into is dry conditions really picking up here locally coming out of the Great Basin. And as this happens, you're going to be seeing this continue to drag a little bit more so into our region and eventually usher in that warmer air. So that warmer air is coming in from the Great Basin. It's coming up from the Gulf. It's putting us in mild conditions. This will continue going right on into Friday as well. Cooler conditions try to get to us, but it falls apart. And most of it goes all the way up into Canada and stays there. That cool continues to move. Warm conditions still stay with us going through the weekend. As I've mentioned before, continues on to the new portion or early portion of next week. Winds will get breezy and gusty going into today and tomorrow. We'll still see them continue on, getting up to 30 miles per hour plus in some cases. A lot faster of those winds going in from coming from west east across the other side of the Mississippi as well. So that's why they are in the red flag warning. That being said, are we getting any rainfall? We get set up for this here. You see some rainfall. It was supposed to come hit our way with a nice little punch, but it's broken apart because of the drier air cutting across the central portion of our nation. So we stayed dry going into Saturday. We stayed dry going into Sunday as well. few clouds kind of increase, so we'll see mostly cloudy skies at some point getting into the next day or two. And then we'll eventually see these winds kind of move that cloud cover away. And then eventually we're picking up some moisture, possibly going into into Tuesday, still up in the air, possibly going into Wednesday. There looked like a lot more rainfall up north of Eau Claire earlier, but now that's broken apart. You see it kind of come in around the 6 o'clock in the morning version, and then eventually you're going to be seeing conditions right now to be dry as we go through the next couple of hours here, several hours going into the afternoon. What I expect out of this for you today, 68 degrees for your high, breezy and gusty winds, dry conditions as well. We'll do the same tomorrow, and then eventually we'll get into the weekend with warmer conditions with those 70s on the way, and then eventually we'll cool you down into next week by midweek and beyond. Back to you.
4 local Rotary clubs are serving up a unique fundraiser that combines pickleball and philanthropy. Their Pickleball for Polio event aims to rally support against a disease still impacting hundreds of thousands of people worldwide. We're joined this morning by Kelly Dunn, a member of the Holmen Rotary Club, to tell us more. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Yes. Good morning.
So just tell us a little bit, what inspired the Rotary Club to choose pickleball for this fundraiser?
Well, actually last February I was down in Arizona visiting friends who were wintering there, and every one of them, all they talk about is pickleball.
Yeah.
And then I come back and then I see the Blue Zone has opened up in the former Shopko building in North La Crosse. And I went in there. It's just an amazing facility with 17 courts.
Yeah.
And with polio, for Rotary clubs have been working for over 20 or over 40 years to try to help eradicate polio in the whole world. And they've committed over $2.1 billion. And so locally, we try to hold an event once a year. And we thought, well, this could be a different one. It's a great spot for it.
Yeah, and then you got a little bit of alliteration in the name, both with P's, so the stars aligned, huh?
So are there any other things Rotary's involved with regarding polio? Well, basically what we do is, in terms of raising money, you know, is one part because it's expensive, but we also have volunteers who go to other countries and they actually administer the drops by putting the oral vaccine right in the baby's mouth. And when communities have a vaccine clinic, lots of people show up and it's very well organized. They've actually even helped with other health issues because they get it down on how to do it.
Yeah, very important cause there. And so just tell us, how does polio affect the body?
Yes, it's a terrible disease. Back in like the 1950s, before there was the vaccines, like 500,000 people worldwide every year were getting this disease, and it causes paralysis and respiratory issues. So in the worst case, people were in what they called iron lungs, which was not good. So basically, we've got polio eliminated down to now just 3 different countries.
Okay.
And so it's in Pakistan, Afghanistan, and even now the Gaza area. And so if we don't continue our eradication in the future, over 200,000 kids a year could contract it in 10 years. It just expands that rapidly.
Yeah, okay, something, you know, we may not think of these days, but
Yes.
definitely still a concern there.
Yes.
Wow.
Well,
Switching gears though, for those that who are unfamiliar with pickleball,
Yes.
what can they expect at this event?
Well, it's a fun event. You know, it's kind of, let's say, similar to ping pong, except on a tennis court,
Yeah.
but a lot smaller, and so you don't have to chase the balls as far. But it's a fun game. We're going to have 3 different ways for people. Number 1, you can come and just socialize. There'll be a food truck. We're having lobster rolls in a food truck. You can just buy a drink, you know, inside the Blue Zone and watch your friends play. Or you can actually learn how to play pickleball. We'll have every hour, we'll have a demonstration on the basic rules, because it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
And we'll have some open courts for people to play. Or you can, if you've been playing pickleball, we're going to have a royalty of the court tournament.
Okay.
And so basically for 2 hours you have short games, and if you're in the top court at the end, we'll donate some money to the cause in your name.
Okay, and so are you encouraging people to sign up before, or can they do that at the door?
Yes, well, it helps us if you register in advance,
Okay.
especially
How can you do
if you're
that?
going to play open pickleball or in the tournament.
Yeah.
And at the Rotary Club of La Crosse website, we have a web page.
Okay.
And basically you register online and you can pay at the door type of thing. So.
All right, well, thank you so much, Kelly, for being here to tell us about it. Sounds like a fun time.
Thank you. We're looking forward to it. It's our first one. If it's good, we'll do it again next year.
All right, well, thank you so much. Stay
Very
with
good.
us. We're back
Thank
right
you.
after this.
I'm Tony DeCopel. Coming up on CBS Mornings, the multi-talented actor and singer Naomi Scott's going to join us to talk about starring in the new horror movie Smile 2. Also, Jamie Yuccas catches up with the star and co-creator of the CBS hit Fire Country ahead of its season 3 premiere. That is coming up on CBS Mornings.
Liberal Rebecca Cook. She's cooked up quite a story about herself. The truth? Cook is a slick political operative who pocketed almost $200,000 electing Democrat extremists. Cook supported radicals pushing open borders, defunding police, and ending cash bail. No wonder New York radical AOC is spending big money to elect phonies like Cook. Rebecca Cook. A liberal recipe for disaster. Strategic Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I've been with U.S. Cellular for 27 years. They've always taken care of me. But when they asked me to talk to you about their special customer event, Us Days, I said, I gotta get in shape. So they sent me this Hollywood trainer. Oh, this guy's no joke. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers.
Now let's try burpees. Us Days is back at U.S. Cellular. Current customers get $1,200 off any phone, plus $400 off any tablet.
Eric Hovde has a problem with the truth. Time and again, his ads have been called false. He's a desperate candidate, willing to say anything. But here's what's true. Eric Hovde has a plan to slash Social Security 28%, Medicare 25%, veterans benefits 40%, all to spend $4 trillion on tax breaks for rich guys like himself. Eric Hovde's lying, and he's not for us.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
I'm Mike Rowe. Welcome to the most honest commercial you're going to see all day.
Today, we're fixing sagging floors.
The problem is that moisture that we're trying to control has gotten to the wood already, and it's caused this side of the home to drop. So if you have cracks around your door frame, if you have those squeaky floors or bouncy floors, most of the time we can fix that.
Get a free and honest inspection with Innovative Basement Authority, a Groundworks company.
Here in Wisconsin, my patients trust me with their personal medical decisions and never ask, what does my congressman think? That doesn't stop Derek Van Orden. Van Orden calls himself 100% pro-life, compared abortion to genocide. And Van Orden said he opposed abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest. Your personal medical decisions belong to you, not him. And Derek Van Orden doesn't belong in Congress.
HMP is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Welcome back. It's 6:52. Time for your morning news now. A man has been sentenced in the 2022 death of an Altoona resident. 36-year-old Xavier Thompson will serve 22 months in prison, followed by 5 years of extended supervision. Thompson was charged with second-degree recklessly endangering safety in connection with Christopher Connor's death. Connor was found shot at an Eau Claire intersection in September 2022 and later died. A second suspect, Michael Purnell, faces felony murder charges. Opening statements begin today in the trial of Winona man Adam Fravel. 30-year-old Fravel facing first-degree murder charges in the death of Madeline Kingsbury, the mother of his 2 children. Kingsbury disappeared from their Winona home last year. Her body was found months later near Mayville, Minnesota. Due to extensive media attention, the trial has been moved from Winona County to the Blue Earth County Justice Center in Mankato. Proceedings set to start at 9 a.m. Liam Payne, the former singer of the British boy band One Direction, was found dead yesterday after falling from a balcony in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Police said in a statement, Payne fell from the 3rd floor of a hotel. He was 31. Vice President and Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris set to hold a rally in La Crosse today. This marks Harris's 6th visit to the Badger State since launching her presidential bid. The Harris-Walz campaign not releasing too many details yet. That includes the date or the time or the location of the rally, but we will keep you updated throughout the day. And taxation is what dominated the debate last night between incumbent Democrat Brad Pfaff and Republican challenger Stacey Klein. They focused on Wisconsin's $4.6 billion surplus. Klein criticized Pfaff for opposing tax breaks, including proposals to eliminate an income tax bracket. Pfaff countered, arguing Republican policies favor a flat tax system, which he says could harm the state.
Senator Pfaff talks about targeted tax relief. There were 4 separate tax relief bills that came through the legislature in the last session. He voted against 3 of them.
I frankly do not believe that it's fair that a teacher who makes $50,000 a year should pay the same tax rate as a multimillionaire that lives in Madison or Milwaukee.
The one item the two agreed about was increasing the child tax credit. In the wake of Hurricanes Milton and Helene, local law enforcement is stepping in to help. The La Crosse County Sheriff's Office is hosting a hurricane relief donation drive at the Onalaska Omni Center. From November 1st to the 3rd, they will collect essential items like first aid supplies, batteries, and flashlights. La Crosse's Rotary Lights marking its 30th year with a dazzling display of community spirit. This milestone season features special events like Santa visits and an Ugly Sweater 5K, and new this year, an inclusive night with lowered lights and music for people with autism. More than 3,000 volunteers and 110 nonprofits power this holiday tradition.
Not only do they like the idea of a great holiday lighting display, but I think a lot of people believe in the cause of to feed the hungry as well, especially that time of year.
Each year, they collect food donations for pantries and food banks. Over the last 30 years, they've collected more than 5 million donations.
All right, we can see wind gusts up to at least 25 miles per hour west of the Mississippi and increasing with wind gusts here locally up to 30 miles per hour. That'll put us in weather fire danger. And of course, that elevated fire risk, well, you can see it as we go into the next couple of days. We'll hold on to conditions that are going to be pretty much not in the dry. Then we're going to stay pretty much in the dry conditions coming in the day, with those winds getting up to 14 miles per hour and beyond. You can see the mild conditions coming in. And of course, be safe out there. This is all that matters.
All right, when you're on the road and nature calls, there's nothing more important than a clean, functional restroom. Finally, the search for America's best restroom is over. The 2024 winner is a Maverick service station located near Salt Lake City International Airport. The online nominations list said that Maverick's restrooms deserve recognition for their commitment to cleanliness and comfort, with sparkling fixtures, spacious stalls, and fresh amenities. The online contest, sponsored by a national cleaning company, is in its 23rd year. All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would think
exactly.
maybe it's at home, but not at an airport.
Yeah. At Salt Lake City, it's pretty far away, unfortunately. Well, thank you for starting your morning with us. We will see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your day.